see is you. You're bigger than it.
Tonight on BO Network, the story of Lesego, a South African woman who woke up one day to find out via social media that her husband, Kevin Kaseya, had traveled to the DR Congo to get married to a popular gospel singer by the name of Asca Olangi. She's here with us tonight to share a version of the story. You are watching BO Network. Hey, good evening, everybody. It's BO Network with Benita. And tonight, I'm here to talk to you guys because we have a story that the whole world needs to hear. A few days ago, I was speaking to Lesego. You've heard that name for a while now on social media. News reports came out also. Lesego is a South African woman who is based in South Africa, who is married to a man called Kevin Kaseya. They've been married for many years, and they even have a 6-year-old daughter. One day, the husband, Kevin Kaseya, decided to travel to DR Congo for a business trip. He told his wife and his daughter, "I'm traveling for a few weeks and I will come back." Lesego believed her husband. She knew her husband was going to return after 2 weeks. A friend of Lesego told her that there is a man that looks like your husband who just got married to another woman. Come and see. Lesego took time to go into the Facebook page to find out that her husband, Kevin Kaseya, got married to a gospel recording artist. Her name is Asca Olangi. So you're watching BO Network tonight, and Lesego is with me in the studio, and she will be able to share with you what has happened to her life, because this story is very sad. It's very dramatic. There are too many things that you have to take into account. Lesego, I believe, is a strong woman. Can you imagine you wake up one day to find out your husband traveled outside of the country to get married to someone else? I have asked Lesego before we could come on air, did you have planned to divorce your husband? Did you guys have issues, misunderstanding, as every couples may have? Lesego said to me, nothing. I want you guys to stay tuned. Lesego is coming up next. Hi, Lesego.
Hi, how are you, Benita, and your viewers and listeners?
Doing fantastic. The whole world has heard about you. The name Lesego is ringing in the ears of so many people. So now we just want us to talk to you. I just want you to have this time for me to share your heart. Who is Lesego?
Oh, well, Lesego is a South African woman who has been married to Kevin. We have a daughter together. Her name is Dacia, and we live in Joburg. Can you hear me clearly?
Fantastic.
Okay. Can you see me properly as well?
The whole world is watching you. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we are streaming live on Nation Scoops. So for those of you who just joined, this is Lesego. So Lesego, we're just going to go straight to the point here. So one day you just woke up to discover something so terrible to you, that the husband that you love so much went to be with another woman just 3 days after he left you to travel for work. So just talk to us through the journey. So when did you start dating your husband? How did you meet? Just the circumstances so that we can build up to what we have seen on social media.
Okay, I can share that. We met in 2012. I think it was around Feb, like the early months of 2012. And we met through a friend. That friend of ours, he was from Zambia, and he invited both of us to a boot camp because we are like gym fanatics. You know, we like to exercise, we like to look after our bodies, and we take our health very seriously. And we met there, and we just started being friends. And from there, we just exchanged our numbers, and we became close friends. And then later on, we dated, and yeah, we were in a good relationship. We used to go out just like any other couple. And later on, then we got married, and then we got married in 2015. And we've been together, yeah, ever since 2012. And even when he left for Congo, he left from this house where I'm sitting. He just told me that he's going to look for opportunities in Congo since he was struggling a bit here in South Africa. He had lost his job, I think, in 2019, June the 30th. That's when he stopped working. So now he was just sitting at home trying to find what else he can do. Like he was trying businesses, he was trying marketing himself and networking with other people out there. But I think it was just a little bit hard for him. He couldn't close any deals. So he told me that he was being put under pressure by his family to find something to work and provide, as he's the head of the family, as he's a man. And I didn't want to stop him. I couldn't stop him because I could also see that, you know, he really wants to do something. And I allowed him to go to Congo. He left the house, I think, on the 21st. It was on Saturday. I think he left here early in the
21st,
morning.
sorry, can you just give us, you said 21st, was that November? 21st
Yeah,
of
21st.
November,
Yep,
of November
yep.
2020.
Yeah, so it was quite early in the morning. And before that, I mean, of course, we made arrangements. I knew that he's traveling. He has been packing. He's been busy in the house, shopping, going up and down. And you know, I was ready that he's leaving. And on the day when he was supposed to be traveling, I asked him, "Would you like me to take you to the airport?" He said no, because it was too early. He said no, it's not safe for you to be driving around, you know, this 8 hours, since we have a small child. She's 6 years old. And by that time, I didn't have live-in nanny because of this COVID circumstances. So we didn't want to bring people in and out of the house. So he said, no, it's fine. I will just call Uber, you know, they will take me to the airport and I will check on you guys. And as soon as I get to Congo, we can chat. And yeah, that's what exactly happened. You know, he left and he got to Congo and we connected again. I checked on him. I asked him, baby, did you travel safely? How was your flight? How's your family in Congo? You know, how's things that side? And we were just talking well. And he said, yeah, he traveled safely. He's been busy with his family. And yeah, we'll catch up later. And we carried on talking. I think that was like by that time on the 22nd, we were just talking almost every day. And I actually didn't see the wedding going live. Like I didn't see that wedding when it happened I think it started on the 24th. I didn't see it. I was not on social media. I didn't know who Asca is. I didn't know what my husband is up to because I've been talking to him. He was telling me that he's busy working. He's busy because I was trying to get hold of him sometimes and I couldn't get hold of him. I was like, what's happening? You know, why are you working so hard? I said, no, I'm busy working. And I said, okay, fine. I didn't want to disturb him. I said to him, let me know when you have time, give me a call back. And he would do that, you know, he will keep on checking on me, on our daughter as well, checking how she's doing, how am I doing. Everything was fine, you know, until I think around the 9th or the 30th. I remember it was on Monday. I was busy with my work. And I was just, I actually didn't go on social media myself. Somebody tipped me to check, and then I checked, and I was very surprised to see that my husband is getting married. I was like, okay, what's going on? I didn't believe it when
Okay.
I first saw it. Yeah.
Okay, Lesego. So you've said quite a lot right now. So you've given
Yeah.
us a background story of who you are. So Lesego is a South African woman. She's married to Kevin Kaseya, who is a Congolese man. He's told her that he's going to the Congo to find work, and he's going to come back. And you can even hear Lesego say to us tonight, and it's confirmed that even when he was in the Congo, they were discussing. So there was definitely in a relationship. So there was no divorce ongoing. There was no separation.
Yeah.
They were a happy family. And I can confirm that to you also with the audio, the evidence that I've seen myself. Lesego has just found herself in a terrible situation. We just want to touch on the fact that you find out that he got married on the social media. But I just wanted to ask you a question. So when you guys were in a relationship, did you actually see Kevin behave in a certain way towards you? Did you feel like he was hiding certain things that you were kind of like feeling like, why is my husband not sharing this with me? So you kind of were left out a little bit in a relationship. So did you see that happening around your home?
No, not really. He's actually a very open person. We were okay. The only thing that was not sitting well with me is when he was busy on the phone with his family, because they would talk for long, and sometimes I want to understand what they're saying, and I would feel a little bit left out. I would ask him, what are you guys discussing? They would sit on the phone for like 1 hour, 2 hours having conference calls, especially around the time when he was just about to leave. Around November, he was just busy on the phone with his family. So I would ask him, what's happening, and he would just say, no, we're just discussing my issue, my issue of me not having a job here in South Africa. My dad feels like I'm wasting my time here in South Africa. I need to get up on my feet, work, and provide for my family. That was the story that he gave me when I would ask him, why are you guys having, so many calls and long calls? Because sometimes he would even like they would call him like late at night, and he would take walks outside because he would feel like he's disturbing me and the child. Sometimes he would sit in his car. I would ask him, what's going on? That is the only strange thing that just happened around November. Because I was like, what's up? And he would stick to his story that, no, we're discussing my trip to Congo, of me going to find a job, because he said that his father owns some wood company in Congo, and his father is willing to take him in so that he can just do something so that he can have some sort of income, or and be able to provide for us. He was actually a very loving man, like a cool dad, like
Yeah, so you were basically a caring and loving wife. So when you're married to somebody, you don't really suspect that your husband will do something like that, because you are in a covenant, so you know your partner is there for you. So why would you have doubt in a relationship? Especially, you said to me so many times that you guys were in good terms. So there was no place, there was no time where you felt disconnected. So it's kind of like you were just a loving wife, somebody who's just there just to keep the home peaceful. That's the role that you play, the whole thing. So this is what I understand.
yeah.
So now moving forward, the story is way bigger than yourself as well, because then you find out also that there was also another woman who was in Kevin's life while both of you were married. And you just discovered this quite recently. And I just want everybody to listen to a 5-minute interview I've had with Chipo. Chipo now is a Zimbabwean woman who was in a relationship, in a love relationship with Kevin Kaseya, who is Lesego's husband. They were dating, they were together since 2019. So I just want you guys to stay tuned and listen carefully to Chipo. She's going to speak to us. You will hear what she said while she was in a relationship with Kevin Lesego. Stay tuned.
Earlier today, I was able to speak with Chipo, a lady who was in a relationship with Kevin Kaseya, and here is what she had to say.
My name is Chipo, as you said. I live in Johannesburg, but I'm originally from Zimbabwe. I've lived in South Africa now for close on 2 decades. And yes, the story that has come to your attention is true. And my name does pop up because I was very much a part of it and party to it. I was dating Kevin for over 18 months. I also found out something that I didn't know, was that his wife, Lesego, was still very much part of his life and still very married to him. I met Kevin in July 2019. And we were very casual, more like friends than anything else. As we were approaching end of, what month comes before October? I've hit a blank.
September,
yes. September. He then said that he's leaving his wife. It's too much. And it was around the time, this was triggered, according to him, by a very expensive gift that his wife gave him for his birthday. And it retails for about 2 million rand. $250,000, thereabouts. 20th of November 2020, he got to my house literally at like 7:30 in the morning. And he had sent me a message saying, babe, I'll be with you early. I've missed you. I really need to catch up and all that. So I had breakfast ready. He was here for most of that day. We were intimate. We caught up. Because remember, I haven't really seen him for like 2 weeks. And I had made him poulet à la muamba and fumbwa, and I had got some kwanga. We had a very nice day. And then he was even asking me, I'm so worried to go back home. My father's never been this sick. Asked to see me in person. During the course of the morning, I was downstairs fixing a snack for him. He was upstairs in my room. He sent me a message saying, look, they sent me a ticket, and he shared his itinerary for his trip to Congo. So when I went upstairs, I asked him, who is they? First of all, who's they? And secondly, why is the ticket one way? So he says, no, they is my sister Tazi. Tazi's the one running my father's finances while he's incapacitated in hospital. So she's the one who arranged for the ticket. And then secondly, it's one way because I don't know how soon he's going to be out of hospital. I obviously want to stay until he's on his feet and, well again. I can't abandon him now. So that's why I told them to get me a one-way ticket. But I don't think I'll be away for longer than a week, 2 weeks max. I kept getting this feeling in my stomach, in the pit of my stomach, that something is wrong. Something is not right. I tried to distract my mind. I tried to watch TV. I took a long hot bath with candles, trying to calm myself, but it still kept coming. So I thought, no, Chipo, you need to look into this, right? So that's when I thought, go and look at social media. Kevin's not on Facebook anymore. He was when I first met him. So he deleted his Facebook account long ago, right? So I went on to Instagram.
Now I want you to pay attention because Chipo is about to reveal how she discovered that Kevin Kaseya was engaged to Asca Olangi.
So I went into his followers and I started looking follower by follower by follower. And I think his new wife was like the 10th follower. And the first picture was a pre-wedding photo. I think it's the one that has them that's taken from their back, from behind them. And you know your person, right? I knew straight away that's Kevin without even zoom, but I did zoom in to make sure because their names are on their respective backs, right, on the picture. I knew it was Kevin, but my mind refused to accept it. So I zoomed in and lo and behold, yes, pre-wedding photo. So I go and look. This is Asca that's posted this picture. She's tagged the photographer. So I'm like, so when was this picture taken, right? She's tagged the photographer. I go to the photographer's site and I see the photographer is based in Johannesburg, or he's based in South Africa. So I'm like, so these pictures were here. I scroll all the way through. Lo and behold, 29th of December 2019, they got engaged. For me, Benita, the reason why I first spoke out was, firstly, I felt Lesego's pain, right? Secondly, I needed to reach out to her to apologize and just tell her that I understand and I'm walking this road with her.
That was Chipo. You're watching Bio Network with Benita. This program is brought to you by Nation Scoops.
Choisi, appelé pour montrer son excellence. Hey! Tout ce dont j'ai besoin, Dieu me l'a donné, car je sais qui je suis. Oh! Allez, va, come on, come on. Hey! Appelé pour montrer son excellence. Allez, va! Tout ce dont j'ai besoin, Dieu me l'a donné, car je sais qui je suis. Je sais qui Dieu dit que je suis.
Welcome back to Bio Network. The lady that you heard early on was Chipo. Chipo was in a love relationship with Kevin Kaseya, who is Lesego's husband. The video that you just seen now is the woman in question. Her name is Asca Olangi. She's a popular gospel artist in the French-speaking community, as well as the international gospel music scene. You have seen her performing with Sinach, who is a popular Nigerian gospel artist also. So you can really tell what we're dealing with here. Lesego.
Yes.
Chipo sends you a message. She says the reason why she came out also is because she understands you and she wanted to apologize because she had no idea that you were married to this man, and she's standing up with you.
Yeah, we've met. She has apologized to me in person. She's a very good woman. She's very calm. You know, we more or less like the same personality, you know, funny enough. And a very matured woman, you know, she's respecting me. And we don't even live far from each other, actually. Like you can walk to her house if you don't have a car. You know, that's how close we are. And yeah, also I don't have any hard feelings towards her. We chat almost every day. She checks on me. I check on her as well. And I truly believe that she didn't know about me, and I don't blame her for what happened between herself and my husband. And yeah, I don't want to dwell too much on the topic of Chipo. Yeah, but I'm okay. Yeah.
Great. Such a beautiful spirit you have, you know. And I always admire your courage. I know we've been talking about this for a whole week. For the past few days, we spoke at length. But for the public, for those who don't understand what is happening, is we just want to tell the people to be careful Number one, about the churches that you attend, the kind of leaders that are leading you in Christ, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
If you're dealing with a man who is married legally to his wife, who is Lesego, and just decide just to disobey God. And according to reports that I have received, Kevin is also a pastor now in that church. So you can imagine the abomination that is ongoing in that ministry.
Yep, I heard
And
that.
the poor lady here is a faithful wife, and that's why she's doing what she's doing.
Yep. I just came out, you know, so that people can know my side of the story. They can also hear from me in terms of how am I feeling and how I reacted when I saw that my husband just got married without saying anything to me, without saying anything to my family. The least he could have done was just to ask his family to go to my family so that they can discuss if maybe there was anything he was not happy about with me. But the fact that, you know, I took his family as well as my family. You know, we used to have Christmas lunches. You know, we used to be. I thought they were fine with me. I thought because I was okay with them until I saw what happened. Because after I heard about the wedding and I've seen the wedding, I reached out to them. I asked them what's happening because I was in such a shock that I didn't believe what I was seeing. And I asked the sister, the very same sister that Chipo mentioned. I asked Tazi, I said, Tazi, what's happening? What is happening in Congo? What's going on? You know, and she just gave me bad attitude saying, I'm causing a chantage. It's like I'm ruining things for his brother. I was like, what are you talking about? Because apparently she told people that Kevin and I, we were not married. Kevin was just my baby daddy. And I got upset. That's why I went to social media to prove that no, he was not my baby daddy. He was actually my husband. We live together. We have a life together. We are husband and wife. We have assets together. We have a property together. This house as well, it's also Kevin's house. So I was just surprised that he just decides to walk out. He doesn't even, you know, like plan things properly, because right now I'm stuck with a whole lot of things that they need his consent and he's not here. And I also tried to reach out to him, trying to figure out what just happened in Congo. And he was also giving me, like, he couldn't say anything. He just didn't say anything to defend himself, you know, or even to say, like, explain what just happened.
Yeah, there is a audio message that I've heard myself that I've obtained, whereby Kevin was threatening you to talk, to speak up. So your life right now is under threat. So you're not really safe where you are because your husband can decide to come back at any time. We just want the public to know that Kevin Kaseya has threatened his wife to stop speaking up. And if she doesn't heed to his counsel, she will reap the rewards of it. She will pay for it. So what does that say to you?
It tells me that he doesn't care. Like, it's about him. And it's just about what he wants to do. And keep that up. How's the sound? The sound is not
It's okay. It's fine. But I also want us to touch on one thing so that we can progress. And so we're going to share with the public evidence that this woman here is not an actress. She's not coming on Be On Network. And you know, Nation Scoops, we're all about everything is real that is in the society. So we're not here to play about things. So when you see Be On Network coming on live, that means that it's a serious topic that we're dealing with here. It's a matter of people's lives. And this story is very much real. So as I said, I want us to touch on this aspect now because it's very important. Right now in the United Kingdom, with my team, we are leading an investigation about Kevin's university certificates because there are so many conflicting reports on the social media that her husband is a medical doctor. So Lesego is going to tell us a little bit more about that. But the team here has contacted one university here in England to find out if that man truly graduated, because the date that is given doesn't actually make much sense. Looking at his age factor, and also Kevin has said, according to certificates that I have obtained, that he graduated from a university in France, which is one of the most reputable universities for people who study medicine to become medical doctors. So my team in France also have contacted the university, and we're waiting for a response to hear if Kevin is a medical doctor. So I just want you to explain to us, what is this issue with this allegation that your husband may actually not be a medical doctor, so he's practiced medicine without a license?
Well, he said to me that he's a medical doctor. I have seen him working as a medical doctor. When I met him, actually, he was working in a private hospital here in South Africa. And he stopped working there for a while. And he got another assignment where he was working in a community clinic where he was actually circumcising men and small boys in the clinic. So he was actually hired as a senior surgeon, and yeah, he was a doctor. To me, he was a doctor because he told me that he's a doctor. Even around, people knew him as a doctor. He went around telling people that I'm a medical doctor, and even his family, they used to call him doctor, like in the house. But I was like, why such an emphasis of him being a doctor, even like outside work, like everywhere, everyone had to know that Kevin is a doctor. Kevin is a doctor. It was so strong. But I was like, sometimes I was like, okay, why so much emphasis on him being a doctor? But I just put it aside, and carried on with other stuff. He also worked at, he also went to Mali with a company called, I think it's Starlight Aviation Group, whereby he was assigned to look after soldiers in Mali, where he was checking on them, making sure that they're fine, they are healthy, and everything is okay. And yeah, that to me, at some, I was convinced that he's a doctor, but then later on, when things got a little bit tough, because before he went to Mali, actually, he had a little bit of an issue where he got caught at that clinic that I just mentioned, that he was working at, the community clinic, where one of his, I think it was one of the people that he worked with, one of the team members, he told me that he was reported that he's not registered with the medical council. The issue was so bad that he was actually arrested. He was in a police station, and he called me to come help him, sort out the issue, pay bail for him or just put a good word for him. But then I asked him, what's happening? How did we end here? Why are you here? And he would just say, no, people are feeling jealous for me. Every time he would just say, people don't like him, people are jealous, people are just being funny at him because he's not a South African, he's a foreigner. And life is very hard for foreigners in South Africa, and people are against him. But I was like, why would people be against you? There's a lot of foreign doctors here in South Africa, and they're working very well. They're not troubled. People are not checking on them. They're not being reported. Even if they're reported, the community should actually be able to check, verify if the doctor that is checking on you is actually a qualified doctor. Because we have a portal here in South Africa where we can search a doctor to see if they are qualified or not. And I have even myself personally checked him on that database, and I couldn't see him as a doctor. And, I would ask him, why is your name not appearing there? Because you said you are a registered doctor. And he would just tell me that, no, I haven't paid my annual fees. That's why I haven't paid my membership fees. That's why my name is not there. But that's just a small thing, it will be sorted out immediately, and things will be okay. But nonetheless, with the clinic, they suspended him and they never gave him a chance to go back. So they just told him that thanks for your services. We really appreciate your services, but we're good. We don't need your services anymore. And I think he got a little bit shaken by that. And then he actually changed things along the way. Now he started wanting to pursue finance roles. Now suddenly he wanted to do finance. He wanted to learn how things work in the finance space. Now, when he was gone, I also saw that he's he's got some SEMA certificates, which I never knew anything about it, because when he was talking to me about finance roles, it was somebody who needed help. Like he didn't know what finance is. He didn't know how to read journals. He didn't know how to interpret balance sheet and income statements and stuff like that. And I would support him, as a wife, because I also wanted my husband to work. So I would help him. I would explain to him. He would also go and borrow books from his friends. He would go sit in libraries and try to understand how it works, because he's very intelligent. Academically, he's very gifted. He's smart. He's somebody who's well presented. He speaks well. Like he can hold like a very, very intelligent conversations with people of high places, like even with directors, with ministers. He speaks very well. Like if he has to meet you, you would be convinced that this guy he is very, very, like a very, very, very good person, and he knows his stuff, and he can be a qualified accountant or medical doctor. Like he's very, you wouldn't even think that something could be fishy with him. That's how good he is. So
You've said one thing, Lesego, that your husband, because he got suspended from his medical doctor position. I just want to throw this out there. How can you be a medical doctor and then you just throw away your doctorate? Because you know how long to study medicine?
Exactly.
It takes at least up to 11 years, minimum 6 to 8 years, and then you can specialize in different branches. And it can take you up to 11 years. And what also shocks me in the story is that your husband was working as a senior doctor. Like, when did he get the experience to be a senior doctor, to have this title? Because you need experience. You need to prove certain things before you can be called a senior doctor. So already, for me, there is already an allegation that we need to find out if that man truly is a medical doctor. And also there's another certificate that I have obtained. I have read that a doctor in the Congo has certified that your husband, Kevin Kaseya, is a medical doctor and he can practice medicine in the Congo. Now, according to reports, the man who allegedly signed that letter came on social media and say that he's not the one responsible for the letter, that this letter is fake, that Kevin Kaseya is not a medical doctor. They've given him a fake number to identify in the registrar in the Congo. So you can see here we're dealing with so many issues. So for those of you who are watching from the Facebook page or YouTube channels, we're live on Bio Network, sponsored by Nation Scoops. And this is Lesego sharing her ordeal. So we've talked about the fact that your husband has got all these certificates that may not be legitimate. Okay, we're going to move on from there. You've also mentioned that he's also studied accounting, which is a different branch. But when I look at the dates of the certificates, it's not possible to have studied both medicine and accounting at the same time. Also, the certificates that I've got for the university here in the United Kingdom, I'm not going to mention that university because it's still ongoing. The name on the certificate was spelled wrong. I do know.
I didn't notice.
University would not issue you your transcript or your certificate with a spelling error. And that spelling error is too obvious. You can tell it's a French-speaking person who's done that, because the spelling of the name could be that it's French. And I doubt that a university here in the UK will make such an obvious mistake. So we're waiting for the report. Hopefully by next week, we will get a response, and we'll also let the public know to find out if Kevin truly studied here in England and graduated from that university. We will also find out if he was also a graduate in France, one of the most reputable universities for medicine. Lesego. So I'm now going to play for everybody just to establish. So you can see Lesego's family having this wedding in South Africa, and I'm going to show you also the wedding that took place in the Congo just a few months ago, when Lesego found out that her husband, a dear loving husband that she loved because she behaved like a virtuous woman, her wife, who would just be by her husband's side, believing and trusting that he's going to come back and bring some income at home. So I want you guys to watch carefully. The first video that you will watch is Lesego and the family at her wedding with her husband, Kevin Kaseya.
Comme la prière a été faite, nous remettons cette union aux mains du Seigneur Jésus. C'est celui qui nous guide, c'est celui qui va conduire.
Very disturbing images. The first video that you've seen there was at Lesego's place in South Africa. And the person that was speaking was one of Kevin's parents. Was this the father, right, Lesego?
Yes, that was his dad.
So that was the dad when you guys got married.
Yeah.
And you can see the sofa, the white sofa, and you've also seen the pictures. It is Lesego. The second video that you've watched was a gigantic wedding, like a fairy tale one for princess. Very big one, white gown.
Yeah.
A lot of decoration, beautiful, like the kind of wedding any woman would want to have. So that was Kevin Kaseya, which is Lesego's husband, with this woman, a popular gospel singer named Asca Olangi. It is sad. It is also teaching a lot of you guys a good lesson. Whenever you see signals, triggers in your relationship, whenever you start feeling that certain things that you find uncomfortable, you need to confront it. You need to have a discussion with your partner just to find out. Just try and do that in the first instance. But don't just be naive and just keep on going while there's actually an issue. But in this case, Lesego genuinely is in love with her husband, and I can still see it. I can still sense it, that she is a loving wife. So why would she deserve such a treatment? She marries somebody who has got 3 different identities. To me already, that's a red signal. She was in a relationship with somebody who we find out via Chipo that he was engaged to this Rachel Olangi, since 2019. So when he used to travel from South Africa to the Congo, he was with that woman. So you can imagine what could have happened to this poor woman's life. She could have caught a disease. That man could have infected her with HIV, STDs, anything like that, because he was intimate with all the women.
Yep. No, 3 women. Even Chipo.
Yeah, three.
So there was me, there was Asca, there is Chipo.
Wow. Do you know what? I'm short of words because Asca Olangi, if you're even watching tonight, you should be ashamed of yourself, girl. Lesego has tried to reach out to you by every means possible, but you have ignored it. And all these people that are following the ministry, the church, and also she's friends with the likes of Donnie McClurkin, Sinat, and also what actually led me to even go further with your story is because it connected with my audience, because most of my followers are Nigerians. And I saw a picture with Tim Godfrey, the gospel singer that everybody loves. Godfrey, I listen to his music from time to time. But I saw Tim Godfrey performing at this fancy wedding. And there is also a pastor. It's Pastor Ron, who is the one who officiated that union. These people are really playing people's lives, and I'm very disappointed in the leadership that we're seeing right now in churches. And that's why you shouldn't be upset when we tell people to always check with your spirit man to show you. Because these people who have these mega churches, majority of them are running businesses. They are not, they don't care about you. You are just a customer. You're just coming in so they can cha-ching. That's it. There's no fear of God. Because it's 3 months and these people haven't even spoken to her. It's been 3 months. These people haven't come up. What gospel are you guys speaking?
They're just ignoring.
Are you guys telling the whole world?
Yeah.
Well, we're not going to go any further for tonight, but I just wanted Lesego to come on and tell the whole world how she feels about the whole thing. And Lesego, I want you to know one thing. Do you know that you are loved? Do you know
I
that
believe
you are
so.
loved?
I'm actually, yep, I believe so.
Do you know
I
that
think
you're
God,
loved?
yep, I think I've been saved. God saved me. God showed me his love. God made sure that I'm okay. You know, regardless of the 8 years that I've been with Kevin, I'm still okay. I'm healthy. You know, I can still do the things that, you know, I want to do. And I feel blessed. You know, for me, I feel like, yes, of course, I felt the pain. I felt the trauma, you know, when I started seeing what I saw on social media, because they also have a church channel. So everything was there on TV, on YouTube, on Instagram, on social, on Facebook. So it hurt me, you know. I'm not gonna lie to everyone. I got hurt. But I told myself that God is with me. You know, I believe that there's a big purpose why God let things to be the way they are, and why God allowed them or him, you know, to go to that extent. Because it's not about me. I did nothing wrong, really. I don't feel bad. Even for me to come out on social media, I don't feel bad. I mean, if I could have done anything wrong, I would hide my face and don't even talk about it. But I told myself that I will not do that. I will speak about it. I will share my feelings. Yes, I've been crying, but I told myself that, you know what, Lesego, you'll be fine. God is on your side. I feel so blessed right now. I feel like I've been saved. I feel like God spared my life and our daughter's life, because we don't know what could have happened. I don't know what was still to come. I don't know what he was planning. I don't know what his family as well, they were planning, you know, around us, because he didn't do this by himself. He didn't. He did this with his family, the very same family that I took as sisters, you know, as I used to call his father like Papa, and his mother Mama. I just took them like they are my own family. And to my surprise, I was very shocked, you know, when this thing happened. And even when I tried to reach out to them, and they just denied me, you know, in public. They denied me, like they don't know me. They don't know me as their daughter-in-law. They just said, no, she's just another woman in South Africa who has a child with Kevin. I said, no, that is not true. That's why I also came out and I shared the story. I shared the videos, you know, I shared, you know, even Kevin's belongings in this house, because he left his clothes here. He left his car here. He left all of his stuff. They're still in this house. I still don't know what to do with those stuff. The car was recovered because after he lost his job, he couldn't pay his car installment, and the bank had to come and take back. That's it. So the car is gone, and I told he knows that the car is gone.
Lesego,
Yes, Benita.
it was lovely to have you on tonight. I believe everybody has heard you enough.
Mm-hmm.
What we want out of the story is justice for Lesego, for her to be able to start her life afresh, so that her husband, Kevin Kaseya, if he happens to stumble across this video, that he can call his wife and do what he got to do so that the woman can be free to move on with her life.
Yep.
We will make sure that we look after you, okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
We'll always keep in touch. We'll always ensure that your well-being is up there, that you are always smiling, you're always happy. We want to make sure that you stay out of those times when you feel like everything is gone, everything is taken away from you. We just want to give you this platform. This is your house. We want you to speak. We want you to tell us when you're upset, when you're angry. We don't want to let you go like that. The whole world has watched, has shared your article. The day the editor published your story, my goodness, if you just go on the article, you will see how many people have read what's happened to you. All the details. If you want to know more about this story, you can go to nationscoops.com, go to the search bar and type Lesego, and you will see how many people have read that story. It's just unbelievable. Thank you for being on tonight, Lesego.
Thanks for having me, for inviting me to your show.
No worries. Do you have one more thing that you want to tell me before we go?
No, I just want to tell not just you, but you know, the Christians out there. I would like us to be truthful, you know, especially as Christians, you know, because I mean, I was reading some verse today on Matthew 5, you know, verse 13. It talks about the salt and light. It says, as Christians, it says, you are the salt of the earth. But if the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled by men. You are the light of the world. A city on a hill cannot be hidden. Neither do people light a lamp and put it under a bowl. Instead, they put it on its stand, and it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before men, that they may see your good deeds and praise your Father in heaven. So all I'm saying is, Christians, let us be the salt and the light of this earth. I'm not angry at Asca. I'm not angry at Kevin, but I'm just feeling like, you know, for that church, you know, They know what's happening. I've been talking. The members of the church, them included as well, because they are the members of the church. But none of them have reached out to me and said a word to me. I'm not saying they must come and bow down, for me, or they must apologize. But they must just go back to the word. What does it say for us as Christians? What does it mean? That verse that says, "You are the salt and the light." Thank you. That's about it. Let us just be the salt and the light of this earth.
Thank you so much, Lesego, for being with us tonight. And thank you to all of you who have watched this broadcast, shared it widely. We will come back again to give you more updates on the investigations ongoing, because there is more to the story. It's not just her husband who was unfaithful, but there's also a criminal activity going on. And we just want to ensure that the truth is laid bare, and that everybody in the whole world should know and beware. Bye for now.